Good evening. Here we are. The team news is out, and we've come for a little pre-game discussion because we're all a little bit buzzing and excited and nervous and butterflies in the stomach. So I'll just fire an intro up and we'll get into it.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Orta Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds is shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We had a good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things. That's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped.
The absolute elite shithousery of this.
How you going, Gilly? How's things?
Could be worse. It's all right.
Has Zampadu been out, or?
It's a loss, isn't it? Not even on the bench. He's a bit of a worry.
I'm surprised by this because I've not been reading Twitter all day or anything like that. I didn't have any clue that this would come.
I saw it. I saw it about maybe half an hour ago. Somebody said, "I've seen a rumor that Ampadu's out. He's not going to be in the squad tonight, and he's out for the season." Was what had been said. Somebody else responded with, "It's just some virgin on Facebook. It's fine." So we're all ready to go, guns blazing. But obviously, we did wait for the team news to come out for a reason. So we don't know actually what the context is, but the rumor was that Ampadu wasn't going to be available and was out for the season, and he's not available. So read into that what you will.
I'm a little bit worried by that.
It's a big loss.
It really is. I'll just bring the old team up so we can see what we're looking at here. Nice picture of your mate there. It's apart from the Ampadu thing, then it's probably pretty much as we were expecting. I would say from that.
Yeah, I would expect so. You know, I think obviously Struijk stated his case to be in the starting lineup anyway, and there were a few people saying, "Does he come back in and Ampadu slop into midfield?" The Gruev one, a lot of people have been saying we need to see Rothwell, but we've been playing either Gruev or Ampadu in midfield away from home, and it's been working as we've discussed in B and C's and so on. So really not a surprise to see Gruev in there, and obviously Struijk's going to slot straight back in with Ampadu not available. So I don't think, I think this is pretty much as close to Farke's starting team as you get without Ampadu in it.
I think you're right there. It's an interesting one, and people probably not like me saying this, but there's an element of me that's kind of, do the goals make up enough for Struijk and his defensive lapses at times? I mean, he's earned us points there, and he obviously does deserve, he deserves some kind of reward for that. But as important as the goals were, is it enough for you for him to be starting if Ampadu were available?
No, not if Ampadu's available. I think, we've spoken at length, haven't we, about... hang on, hot off the press. Graham Smith reports. Ethan Ampadu has suffered a knee injury. Will be assessed in the coming days, and Daniel Farke should have an update on Thursday ahead of Leeds United versus West Brom. So it's not confirmed as a season ender, but a knee injury is the significant thing. It's not just a twinge, is it?
No.
So back to your question. I think that we've been so good recently that anybody realistically staking a claim, even as good as the goals were, even as good as it was, to get the win in the manner that we did. It's always amazing when it's right at the death. Pretty much last kick of the game, wasn't it? They kicked off and then it was final whistle. That's right. So it's always nice, especially when it's somebody that considers themselves to be rivals for what you're going for. Because Sunderland did, they thought they were going to be in and around there.
They did.
So all that aside, I think the coolness that Rothwell showed and the impact that Struijk had, you still have to look at the games that we've played before then. We just briefly mentioned the run that we've been on in away games when playing a DM. For me, Tanaka is probably one of the players of the season in the league let alone for Leeds.
Absolutely.
So I think that him playing is not really a surprise. I think Gruer for me is the obvious option. I don't think Struijk would have played in front of Ampadu had Ampadu not got injured. I think he would have been on the bench again. But it's fortuitous that Struijk's had some minutes before having to come back in. We look at Rutter last season and him having a hernia up and going straight back into the side and clearly not having the same level of impact. And what you really don't want, especially when every point is so critical and even more so at this point of the season, what you really don't want is throwing people back in without any minutes and starting games and, very little on what, De Bayo?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's probably done Farke I'm reluctant to say a favour because it's not a favour losing Ampadu, but from a man management point of view, it's probably helped him out a little bit that he can put Struijk in because he would have been upset to have not played, I reckon, had that been the case.
I mean, maybe so, but I think the run that the team's been on, it's very, very difficult to say that there needs to be some significant changes given that run. I say that, albeit there was one significant change I've been making every time, but
well, we already know about
opinion aside, no, it's very difficult for any player that's not playing to go along after we scored 13 and conceded none in 3 games to go along and say I absolutely should be in this side. Now, I did skip over the Sunderland game there, but still, it's a challenging position to try and go say I deserve to be in there and that person needs to be dropped. That's a difficult one.
Yeah, that's it. And it's you want players though, don't you? That do want to play. You want players to be hanging on the door, but you want the right sort of attitude from them if they don't get what they want. You want them to just knuckle down with a "I'll show you then" sort of attitude rather than sulking. And I think that we've got players like that this season. I think the group is like that generally. I don't think there are people in there that are sulking and that are kicking off, at least from what we can see from the outside. Don't start with that.
Gary Monk, isn't it?
Don't start with that. Don't start with that. It's a figure of speech.
Almost sound like Fat Frank.
I won't go that far, mate, but I wouldn't mind being a quid behind him.
Yeah, no, it's you are right. I think you can see there was a huddle at the end of the game, at the last game, and you could see that there was certain togetherness there, and people like Schmidt that's not really had a look in. He would usher in the cameras away so that they could get everybody together, and it does look like he's got this tight knit, working for each other squad, and albeit Farke's come under fire this season for his late changes that some perceived and that sort of thing. He can't be criticised for the way that he's got them working for each other because they really are. I was critical of Solomon earlier in the season because when he came back from injury, I was like, it's not happening for him, and it doesn't look like he's working hard enough. It wasn't just that he was out of form; that happens. But he looked like he was out of form, and he looked like he wasn't working hard. But
I just don't think
clearly what that needed was just minutes because nobody can. If you look at the work rate that he's had for the past 2.5 months, him and Dan James have both been on fire, and the work rate is
amazing,
second to none. So I think the way that he's gelled them, the way that he's got them working for each other, I think he'll always have his detractors, but he needs to be commended for that. I think Farke.
Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. They're definitely a unit together, aren't they? They're a team that's working for each other, and you can see that in them when they score, the way they celebrate, the way they go around together after games. The huddle, as you say, and you've got players like Schmidt who've barely got a look in, and he's there trying to get involved and make sure it all happens and gets the cameras out of the way, and it's just great to see, and I love that. And Farke must be doing something right, and I think me and you have both questioned him at times, but when it's going well, you hold your hands up, don't you, and you say fair play. The guy's got it spot on at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah, and. It's ludicrous. We spoke about this on the podcast after the game. It's ludicrous that he's not on the bench today. And
I'd forgotten that actually. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's ludicrous. But
maybe he didn't want to sit next Wilder.
Old ham face.
Yeah.
But that said, you know, a lot of the responsibility today needs to be shouldered by the team that's around him now, doesn't it? You know, his coaching staff need to step up and do the job on his behalf. So,
absolutely,
yeah, it's an important aspect.
Yeah, it is. I've got a tweet from them now with their side up. Gus Kiefer and Tom Cannon are all fit enough for the bench. I mean, I'd rather a couple of them were completely out, but it's better than them starting, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. I think it's been difficult to gain any insights. I don't know if you've seen this, but Ahmedižić has come out this week or today and said, this week we decided not to speak to any media. We decided not to be present on social media.
Yeah,
and that's an interesting one for a player to come out and say that in advance, because you can say that afterwards and nobody thinks that that's a thing at all. They're just like, oh well, they were just concentrating on it. To say it in the run up to the game, having said that you're not going to say stuff to the media. And albeit, you know, it's press conferences and it's about the game, and clubs have to have people saying so. But to specifically mention that aspect of it, when I read that, I read that and thought, are they scared? Is this, you know, is this a group that is worried that if they say something, they're going to look stupid a week from now?
I think it's
really
mind games, Gilly. I think it's mind games. I don't for one second believe that Wilder doesn't think they can beat us. But the whole narrative in the football world this week has been Leeds are running away with it. Leeds are steamrolling everyone. Sheffield United are the plucky underdogs in this game. You know, that's not the case. I believe we're a better side than them, but not by a million miles.
Well, I mean, if you look at that lineup, I think there's maybe one, maybe two I would take in our squad, because our squad's so light. You know, we've got the smallest squad in the league still. But I wouldn't be busting a gut to bring any of those players in over and above what we've got, and they wouldn't be going straight into starting 11 either. So I think the fact that they're saying it's ours to run away with, that's one thing. But the other side to that is they've earned as many points as we've earned this season. You know, they were deducted too, and the 2 points behind us. So there's none of this underdog bullshit. That, you know, they're there on merit, because the league table doesn't lie unless you're Johnny Woodgate, in which case, obviously, the league table does lie.
Sometimes it lies, yeah. But I mean, it's funny that, because one Chris Wilder at great pains to tell us how they scored more points than us, or they're doing the same points.
Yeah,
like that.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
He didn't like his little 2-point deduction, did he? But that bothers me as well, because it should have been more than that. What an absolute let-off that is. It should have been enough points to make it difficult for him this season. Otherwise, what's the point of a punishment? I'm going off in a different direction here, but it just something's triggered my fucking brain.
Well, just to bring us back to the game and actually look back somewhat. You know, you alluded to the 13 goals, no goals conceded stat. That was from Cardiff, Coventry, and Watford. Obviously, leaving aside the cup game. But while we were beating Cardiff 7-0, or at least that many fixtures ago, all were beating Sheffield United 3-0 at Sheffield United's place. So, you know, that's in their last run of the 5 games. And in the league, you know, we've been much better. We've only conceded the one, and that was the one against Sunderland. So, you know, they've conceded in every game through that run. Yeah. Every game.
Yeah. I mean, you only got to look at
won the majority, but they've conceded in every game.
Yeah, you only got to look at the goal difference of ours and of theirs to see that they're definitely, you know, they're not as good as us at the back, and they're not building up the leads that we are in games at the moment. They've had some big wins and stuff, but like you say, they're not tending to go on runs like we've been on, where we're scoring a boatload and conceding none. They are a team that you can get at. And, you know, if Hull went there and beat them, and Hull are all right, but they're not the best team in the world. And it just shows you that going there with the right game plan, they can be taken apart. And I believe we can do that. And that's what I'm hoping for. But as always, you get this thing, don't you, with these games when you're a Leeds fan, where you get excited, but you're terrified at the same time. Because how many times have we had it where we've gone, you know, you sit down to watch a game or you're at a game, it kicks off, you're fucking buzzing. And 10 minutes in, you're thinking, fucking hell, we haven't turned up. This
shit, this is shit.
Yeah, 1 or 2-0 down, and you're like, what the fuck's happened? And that's my fear, I think. I just don't want anything like that tonight.
So I am actually really worried because, well, so I'll just mention one thing. So you say about Hull, I know that this league this season is mad. You know, Luton are bottom on 28, Derby on 29, Plymouth on 30. Cardiff and Hull are joint 20th on 33, just above the drop zone. Yeah. But, you know, there's hardly any points between them and West Brom, really. You know, the 51 points West Brom are on. That's not a lot of points from 20th up to 5th. So
no, it's not.
It is a league table that can change over the course of a month, can dramatically change. For, you know, if one side puts a run together, then they'll fly up the table.
Absolutely.
But Hull have only won one other game in their last 6, other than that defeat of Sheffield United. So it's a weird division.
Yeah.
Weird things happen in it.
It's one of those leagues where any team can beat any team on the day, but
yeah,
generally the good teams will beat the bad teams, as in any league. And it's 2 good teams tonight, and that's the worry, isn't it? It's like, you know,
I am slightly worried.
We know we are,
and the reason I'm slightly worried is I think we're going to win 2-1, and I've gone 1-1 draw on the pod.
Did I go 3-2?
You did.
Hey up.
Hey up! Here? Who's here?
What's going on here?
Hey up, Sidney.
Hey.
We can't hear you.
You thought he'd pop in? Well, it's just come to sit there in silence, I think. Probably the best thing for everyone. Can't hear you, mate. Come on.
Well, he's not even talking now. So
well, it's not, to be fair.
See.
Confused. Oh, go on.
Try again.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Have you seen the Ampadu news and you just had to get on here because you're so stressed out?
No, I just said I'd jump on if I managed to get a few minutes. So no, it's a bit concerning because there was that rumour came out this morning, wasn't it? But one thing that is a little bit positive, I suppose, is he's walking on it. And if it was that serious, I've had my fair share of knee injuries. I mean, I've had 7 or 8 knee operations in my life, and if there was even a slight inkling that they were concerned that it was serious, they wouldn't be letting him put that much weight for it. You know, that's the only positive I can take out of that. They've got players out as well, which is great, you know. But does Strike deserve his start after the last game? Look, we're going to miss Ampadu wherever he's playing, I'm sure, but I think Striker has certainly earned a start if he's 100% fit. So yeah, I'm all right with that. I mean, ideally it's not great having your captain out and obviously arguably one of our best players, but we've got a like-for-like replacement to jump straight in.
Yeah, we're fortunate in that sense, but we actually discussed this earlier and we were saying, I think we both said that had Ampadu been fit, despite how well Strike had done with the goals, we still wouldn't have put him in ahead of Ampadu. No, because as much as he got us the points with those goals and stuff, I still think the team's better with Ampadu in it as a whole, generally.
And I think Strike's probably going to be better when Rothwell comes on as well because of the free kicks and you know the set pieces. I mean, he showed that the other day. I think the change we might have seen if Ampadu was fit was actually dropping Gruev and putting Ampadu into midfield and Strike coming back in. But obviously we haven't got that luxury.
I think that's a possibility, yeah. But like somebody in the comments before, I flagged this up, but I didn't bring it up. He said, Jason O'Keefe says, Gruev needs to up his game today. It wasn't great last Monday. Now, I think everyone would agree with that, but the system is we play Gruev.
I slightly disagree. I think
Gruev
was very good in neutralising the attacking threat at the other side. I think his set pieces were poor. I don't think he had a poor game by any stretch. I think his set pieces were a reflection of his game, and I think the very fact that Rothwell came on and changed the game with set pieces shows how important they could have been in that game. So I don't think Gruev did bad at all. You think about their attacking threat; they didn't really create anything other than the Isidore chance, which was Ampadu's fault, who arguably, you know, we're sitting here arguing, saying it should be starting when he should have been, when he was the only player who actually made a defensive error. So
that's fair.
But yeah, I'm not worried. I bet they'll be more worried than us that they've got no Hamer, no.
Well, they're on the bench.
On the bench.
They're on the bench.
Okay, all of the ones that were
I'll just bring this back
are
up.
all on the bench. Yeah. I think Michael Gotts just said that Joe's concerned, and this was the point I was making around our starting lineup. Is it leaves no senior centre back on the bench? You know, we've got De Bayo, and that's really the only centre back. And other than that, you're asking square pegs round holes, aren't you? If there is a problem with either of the centre backs during the game.
Yeah. Do you think? Do you think old Parag? Do you think he started sweating a little when he got told about Ampadu this morning after deciding not to buy anybody?
I think he gives a shit.
I'm asking the wrong guy here.
No, he's too busy putting out fires out in Scotland so that he can take over after they've just sat their gaffer while he's trying to complete a takeover.
You know.
It is concerning, but I mean, especially with Strike's injury record, it certainly is a concern. And if Ampadu is out for the rest of the season, we will certainly feel it defensively in terms of.
Don't worry, we've got Gilavugi.
Oh, he's a great defender. I wanted to play him at 10 as well the other week. I don't want him to play anyway. I just wanted to keep cheerleading.
He has played there before, but he was so poor against Harrogate, wasn't he?
You wouldn't want him in a game like this, would you?
No.
I love the guy, but he is just a backup player.
And after tonight and West Brom, we have got a relatively favourable run-in. So if we were to have one, I think we've probably got the fairest. And I know Gilly's spreadsheet, AI spreadsheet, didn't work out that well last time, but I think we'll be all right. They've gone defensively, obviously. They've left arguably their attacking threats out. I don't know what game he's trying to play with that, because you'd think he'd want to go for it at home tonight against us, because it ultimately could decide who finishes first, arguably maybe second, and who definitely. I think if we win tonight, I think we go up as champions, and I think that's a bold statement. I think it's a bold statement, but looking at the games we've got left and the games that the other teams around us have got left, I just think that we. And I know it's Leeds United we're talking about here, but. Yeah, I'm not overly concerned. It is a concern, but I'm not overly concerned on the whole.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, I'd agree with that. Gilly, what are your feelings?
I'm really regretting going 1-1 because I think we're going to win it. Just a bit of a refresher if you want, because Luke went 2-1, Carl went 3-1. Richard Hogan went 2-1 on from the fans. Jay, you went 3-2. I went 1-1 draw, and I'm regretting it. I think we're going to win.
I only went 3-2 to have a different score to everybody else, to be honest. I'm thinking more 2-0, 2-1 if we do win. But
I mean, let's face it, Luke's the one under pressure because he's the only one with any realistic chance of catching Lee.
What's Lee gone for?
Yeah.
I've not compiled it yet, but I can have a quick check.
Rumour has it that Leah's got the Grey's Sports Almanac from Back to the Future.
He hasn't yet.
Oh
no, he has. He's gone 1-1. He went first. 1-1 with lots of bookings sending off.
So that's why you've done it.
I didn't know he had, honestly.
Hitched yourself to the Lee train.
He said 1-1 with lots of bookings and a sending off.
Fantastic.
I hope he's got some cash on that if that comes out.
I hope it's sending off for them.
Yeah. And not a centre-back for us.
Strike's captain tonight. That's what I would have expected, to be fair.
It would be Emile Mellier, wouldn't it? So
Graham Smith's just announced Ethan Ampadu picked up the knee injury in training. We'll likely know the full extent on Thursday.
Yeah.
Wait till we find out that Aronson did it to him, or Bamford, and then the fucking Twitter will melt down. And
fucking hell.
By the way, Patrick Bamford, are we ever going to see him again? Because he's had another setback, apparently. Another 10 days now.
Were he at a trampoline park and hurt his knee?
Who knows?
Did you see that? That can't have been him.
No, I didn't see that, no.
Oh, yeah, somebody took a video of somebody at a trampoline park that looked a lot like Patrick Bamford while he went out with a knee injury. It can't have been him. I'm not.
Can you imagine? That. Can you imagine if he's not really injured and he's just been told you're not in plans, you're not part of it? But we'll tell everyone you're injured to spare you, humiliation.
Yeah, I mean, no chance in this world. They're not going to pay them wages and say just go trampoline and it's fine.
Did you guys ever hear that story about the board at the time when Gary Kelly was supposedly out injured, and they were on about paying somebody to break his legs?
No.
Somebody who were involved with the club. I can't remember who now. And I heard.
Can I just point out this is a story from one individual and not from the podcast as a whole?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying this actually happened. I'm just saying I heard the story. But yeah, like weird shit goes on in football in the background, so you never know. You never know. But yeah, I'm just excited tonight. I'm hoping that we turn up. I'm hoping that we play as we can.
Do you know what? I'm not as nervous as I was against Sunderland because we were at home, I think, and I think the expectation was we had to win. We were expected to win, whereas tonight is arguably, I mean, probably not even arguably, the toughest game of our season on paper. And look, we win, great. I think we wouldn't go up as champions. If we draw, it's not a bad result. And even if we lose, it's not the end of the world.
To be honest with you, like for me, the season-defining game was Sunderland. Whatever happens here tonight, we're okay. Even if we lose, as you say, we're fine. We're still in the top two. We've still got it in our hands to go up. We've beaten everybody else. We know we can beat everybody else. I'm not worried, to be honest. I'm not worried about the result. I want to win because I want to.
I just don't want to see a meltdown if we do get beat tonight. I don't expect us to get beat because I think we are better side than Sheffield United. But I just don't want to see the meltdown. The facts, tactically, the old tactic thing. Tactically inept.
It will. It will.
Should have signed another centre back. All that bollocks is going to come out.
49ers out.
Told you Mateo Joseph was the best thing since fucking Messi. All them people have come out the woodwork, and I just haven't got it in me tonight. I've had a long week, and I've been to 2 weddings. I'm rough, still a little bit tired, and I just can't really be arsed with him. So they'll probably get both barrels if we lose tonight.
Fucking hell, yeah. Well, that's
the fans that are having a meltdown, not the club themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, maybe everybody. Just
everybody.
Yeah,
anybody who comes across.
But yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm not worried. I just want us to go out there and play as we can. I'm expecting that he won't mess around with his system this time. He'll play how they play at home.
And that might suit us.
Well, they'll come at us, won't they?
That will suit us.
But exactly the reason Luke's just been saying about the nervousness about us playing at home because there's an expectation on them. They're not going to want them to just sit back and let us, who are free flowing and scoring lots of goals, just try and get past them. Can they afford to do that, especially at home? They're going to have to bring the game to us.
They take a draw as much as we'd take a draw right now as well, though. Don't forget.
I suspect so.
Yeah,
they would.
Quite happy with the draw.
They would.
Maybe they've come together before and they've just said, look, let's just play out a 1-1 draw.
We're not playing Italy, Luke.
And then look, we'll rest our best players. Give Ampadu a little week off. He's not had a day off for a while. So we'll just do it. We'll just both take a point out of it. We'll go into next week. Nah, I still think we'll win. I still think we'll win 2-1.
Who do you think is going to score?
Patrick Bamford and
Thomas
Brolin. No, I think we'll probably get a goal from Peru tonight and Aronson.
Oh, who do you think is going to score, Gilly? I bet it's not one of them.
No, it is one of them. I think Peru will get one.
Well, I mean, one of them won't be.
And maybe Dan James. He's been playing really well, hasn't he? What I would like to see, whoever scores it, is a Thunder bastard because it's been a little while. Maybe Tanaka pop up with one from downtown.
Yeah. Well, I gave us as having 3 goals, so I'm going to say Peru's going to get one. I think Tanaka's going to get a screamer, and then let's have Solomon.
He's due another goal.
Let's have Solomon. Yeah, I think so. Deserves it as well. He's worked his socks off.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, the both starting wingers have been on fire recently, haven't they? As we've said, so that'd be good.
I'm more concerned that we don't have anyone that can take a corner on the pitch to start with, because some of the corners we saw against Sunderland were fucking abysmal. It were like the old days.
They were poor. I think they were. In fact, there used to be a podcast called "Beat the First Man," didn't there?
They did, yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because how the fuck can you be a professional footballer at the top of, albeit the second division, but at the top of the league, a professional footballer, but we can't find somebody that can take corners
It's bizarre.
properly, other than the one player that we signed, knowing that he could.
Yeah, it's one of them weird things, isn't it? Like when you see like players and they can't complete a pass or they can't take a corner, it's like there must be a certain minimum level to become a professional footballer. Why can't you do these things? It's like for someone on the outside, like us, it's hard to understand.
Have you mentioned Farker being in the stands today?
Not really. We mentioned it briefly, but if you want to go into it a bit more,
I'd just seen Michael Gott's comment there. That was all. Is it a worry? I mean, it can be certainly be a concern, can't it? But I mean, you got to look at Sheffield United's recent form. They should have been beaten by Luton, who were the worst team in the league, one of the worst teams in the league last week. They should have been beaten by them. Luton with a better side, all ends up, and they still scraped a 1-0 win. So
they're doing a bit of an Ipswich, aren't they? At times,
yeah, they are. Yeah, they're getting late goals, or they're getting results probably against the grain. Whereas when you look at our results, the majority of ours we've deserved. Look, I know we left it late against Sunderland. We were still the better side on the night. But yeah, I'm chill. I'm chill.
Do you think it'll be a bookings fest?
I hope not. I hope they don't go and side each other and start in. I hope it's a clean, good game of football. Because the Sunderland game, even if that had finished 0-0, it was a good game of football. Both teams was end to end, and I don't know, we dominated the majority of the ball and the momentum and everything. But I'm not. I think it should be. Look, it's going to be arguably minus the players they've got out, minus Ampadu. They're the best 22 players in the league that are going to be playing. And I hope it's not a ball fest, and I don't think it will, because I think, as you rightly say, I think Sheffield United will come at us, and I think that'll suit us. But yeah, we've got obviously Tanaka and Gruev in there to neutralise their attacking threat, of whom probably their best player isn't even playing. But the best couple of players, in fact, they've started the what's the bloody striker called? Can't hit a barn door.
Brereton.
He's playing.
He's
on the bench. Sorry, he's on the bench.
Who's starting up top for him then?
Oh no, actually, hang on. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I had the team there.
Brereton Diaz.
Yeah, he is on the bench. Yeah, Brewster is on the bench.
Let me just put this back on. Sorry, really quickly.
It'll be O'Hare at 10 and Diaz and Brereton Diaz up front.
Scroll down a sec.
Weird. It won't move. Hang on a sec, because it's gone weird.
Let me just get it up.
It's here. I've said that before, haven't you?
Out of those, I expect
Tyrese Campbell, won't it? Is he not the striker?
No, it'd be Brereton Diaz up front with O'Hare behind him. Campbell will be on wing. Raksaki on.
It's confusing as fuck when they list the squad like that, isn't it? And they're not in the positions that they should be, and you're just like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, it's because they don't want to get it wrong or give away what the lineup is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's why I didn't.
SofaScore seems to think it'll be Brereton Diaz, but he's better out wide. So they haven't got an official number 9 really starting for him, have they?
Well, Brewster's on bench.
Yeah, and Moore's on the bench.
He's like
Keeper Moore's on the bench.
Moore's on the bench as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll. So they haven't really got a natural number 9 starting, which I don't know. It's just a bit odd, isn't it?
Oh, Luke Fisher here says Farker interviews Sky saying Ampadu could miss a few games, hopefully back after international break. We've heard that before, but let's hope that's true.
That didn't happen with a few of them last. Was it Strike?
Bamford probably, because it always is. Railing out last year? I can't remember.
Struggle though. Anyway, right, I'm going to go get me tea ready for the game, boys. I'll let you enjoy the last.
Good one. Cheers for jumping on.
No worries, mate. Catch you later.
Whoa! I just nearly ended the stream rather than leaving. That I'm glad it gave me an option to say now or later. See you in a bit, boys.
See you later. Fucking hell. I'll probably start wrapping us up anyway.
Still not gone.
No, I know.
There we go. I'm taking him out now.
Fucking hellfire. Yeah, we might as well start wrapping up anyway, because we need to go get in front of the TV, get sorted, and
that's it.
Get a cold beer out and everything. And there's probably a few on here who want to go watch Joe's watch along and stuff. So
yes, yeah.
But hopefully we're going to get the win. It's not the end of the world if we don't. And it's going to be.
Please
fun
try not to
from
melt
here on
down. Is that what you're saying?
out. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And if you do have
You'll
a
melt down as much as anyone.
I'll be fine. I'm chilled. I'm all good. It's all good. Nothing's stopping this train. We're going up now. Whether it's a champion,
it's 3-0 at half time. You're melting.
I'll be angry. I'll be angry about the game in isolation, but I'm not going to think that the season's over or it's all gone to shit or anything like that. If we lose like that and then we lose the next game, then I might start saying stuff like that, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully we're all good. It will be
interesting actually to see, because Luke's right that Campbell has played up front, but he's played wide more than up front. We might see Brereton, Diaz and Campbell interchange, alternating where they're playing and moving about. It'll be interesting to see how we pick that up, because I think it's just to finish us off. I think it's just really important that we play our game. Bogle has been playing really well, and his link-up play with Dan James is brilliant. Firpo has come back into the side. He's getting assists. He's getting forward. He's creating space for Solomon. Both
it's been so good.
Yeah, both of our flanks are so strong. Piro's getting goals. And I think if you look at midfield, Tanaka especially, but if you look in midfield, I thought Gruev did have quite a poor game for his own levels. I thought he had quite a poor game last time out. But, I think Luke watched it on TV, so you do get a bit of a different sense of things.
That's true.
And I'll be honest, I didn't take a lot in because there was a lot of emotion in that game, so I didn't take a lot.
Yeah, that's true. I was on edge for the entire fucking game.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they match up. But I think, for me, I'm really disappointed I went with the draw, because I think if we play our game, we go and win.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Jesus asked what kit we're in. I'm going to say probably the blue one.
I guessed would be yellow.
All right, okay. It'll be interesting to see then.
If they're red and white, then neither of them really clash, do they? But I think yellow. No. I'm hoping yellow because it's ace.
Yeah, I love the yellow kit, but we'll see, won't we? I don't think the club have said, so yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, on that note, let's call it a night. Let's go watch Leeds, hopefully win, and we'll be back with a B and C at some point this week. I don't even know who's on that, whether it's me or you or whatever.
It might be both of us again.
It could be both of us again, but we'll figure all that out. But yeah.
All right.
Thanks for joining me, mate. And cheers to everyone that's watched along. Give us a little like and a subscribe if you've not already. And let's hope we get the win. Leeds.